Our last honoree of the evening is 7A Coach of the Year from Bentonville High School, Barry Lunney Sr., or as his grandkids call him, Potts. I understand that it was supposed to be Pops, but they couldn't say it, so he's called Potts. And I think that's okay to be called that. He may not feel comfortable with me calling him a legend, but that's certainly what he is. Only 4 other coaches in the history of Arkansas high school football have won more state championships than Barry Lunney. As a matter of fact, he's coached teams to state championships in 3 different decades. And it looks like he's still going strong, which is bad news for all the other teams in the state and great news for all the young men he's going to touch and has touched. And we're glad to have him back tonight. We've honored him before. Let's finish tonight's banquet by looking at another successful season coached by Barry Lunney.
The Class 7A Coach of the Year, Barry Lunney Sr., Bentonville.
And I said, who is it we play? And some 1 or 2 of you, I don't know who it was, said it don't matter who it is. Because it's about us. You got a worthy opponent. They're here to whip your butt. It's about us. Let's go have fun.
As an assistant coach at Fort Smith Southside, Barry Lunney was part of one of the greatest upsets in Arkansas high school history when the Rebels stunned a Little Rock Parkview team that featured Keith Jackson, James Rouse, and Ricky Williams. But it was head coach Barry Lunney who turned Fort Smith Southside into a state football power. He led the Rebels to 4 state titles in 16 years. His numbers at Bentonville in the brutal 7A West have been off the charts. 53 wins in 4 seasons and 2 state titles. And his 2010 Tigers were simply unstoppable. They averaged 47 points and 450 yards a game en route to winning a state title. Please welcome an Arkansas coaching treasure, the Little Rock Touchdown Club's 7A Coach of the Year, Barry Lunney.
Thank you, Kelly, for that. I wondered where that came from. And I'd rather be called Potts than a legend. It makes me feel better. The one thing about going last is I have really enjoyed tonight, probably as much as anything I've done in coaching. To be able to listen to these outstanding young men at the high school, collegiate level, and to sit up here with the coaches and just to listen to the remarks and the comments in regard to their families and their coaches. As I'm sitting here just reflecting upon all the things that make this sport such a great sport. And you heard about it tonight, a taste of it. It's a tremendous fraternity that really never goes away because, you know, the stadiums and the stands, it doesn't matter whether it's in magazine in a short, very, very short period of time of 7 or 8 years, or Little Rock Central, or some of the storied programs throughout the state. There's guys and men, granddads, Pots, that are sitting up in the stands and they're reminiscing, they're talking about their high school days. They're talking about a game that they love with passion, and there's something about it. And I think, and I'm sitting up here thinking tonight about it. It's the, and there's great sports. My other son's played basketball, played all the sports, but this is, I believe, the consummate team sport, because it takes so many individuals and takes so many people to have a team, administration, cheerleaders, band, everything that goes on to Friday nights at the collegiate level, on Saturdays. And there's a camaraderie. These guys up here that might not have, they competed against each other, maybe didn't know each other, came from different parts of the country and different states, but they all have something in common. And you heard them talk about it tonight. And so going last, it's hard for me to say anything but ditto. And just, it is. It's a great sport. It's an absolutely wonderful sport. And the things that you learn, and you know, I don't know about all of them, but the coaches that are sitting up here tonight will tell you that, as they said, you know, the kids that come our way that make it possible for us to be up here. Let's just make that perfectly clear. And every one of us, including myself, have had seasons of struggle. I can remember a 1-9. I don't like to remember it, but I remember a 1-9. I remember a 2-8. I remember a 3-7. And yet those young men that were part of that were very special too. Things didn't turn out well for us. But now we've, you know, in my case, been in it long enough, you get to be on the other end of it and win. And there's something about walking out of the dressing room at the end of the year having won a championship or not, that there's a bond that will never be broken. And it's very special. I want to say thank you to my wife of 38 years. Becky is the best athlete in the family. My best critic. We lost a state champion game in 1998 that we were supposed to probably win to Coach Malham. Mike's probably not here now. He'd be standing up hollering. And that's been 98. And she, from time to time, she'd say, "What were y'all thinking?" You know, I mean, just even this year, what happened? You know. She gave me a scripture back in, I believe it was 1990, when my second year back at Southside as a head coach, and we were struggling. We were supposed to be off to a good start, and as young coaches do, and coaches do from time to time, you think that you can push all the buttons and make it happen, and I'm here to tell you that you can't just will it to happen. You can work hard, put your faith in God, and let it go. And that's easier said than done, I know. But I was really struggling, and she came to me and she gave me a scripture in Proverbs that said, the horse is prepared for battle, but the victory belongs to the Lord. And that says to me and us in coaching and business or whatever, you know, do the best you can with all your heart, with all your might, with all your strength. Coach your heart out. She said, "Are you doing that?" I said, "Yeah." "Are you watching your film right?" I mean, she goes down this whole list, and I said, "Yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am." Then the rest of it's out of your hands. The best advice you've ever given me, and you've given me a lot. Trust in the Lord. I've been a blessed man. I hope I can continue to coach. You know, there's all over the media that I was quitting after the last game, and I don't know where that came from. Maybe some people want me to quit. I'm not sure. But I'm having fun. And it's all about the young men and the relationships, and boy, this year were we blessed. We had a wonderful group of young men. This was a very tough year for our family. My mom and my wife's mother passed away within a period of 2 weeks or 3 weeks from each other during the middle of the season. She spent 6 weeks taking care of my mom, who was dying with cancer. And when she wasn't doing that, she was making my game or my youngest son's game down in Greenwood, and being so supportive. I love you so much. Thank you.
Lunsford Bridges, Metropolitan Bank. Couldn't do it without you. Thank you so much. Connor Gallaty, ARPreps.com, Chesapeake Energy, Little Rock Convention and Visitor Bureau. Ladies and gentlemen, why don't we, to close the evening out, give a round of applause to the most outstanding football talent, players and coaches in the state of Arkansas this year. Thanks for being here, everybody. Good night. Congratulations, players and coaches.